Hey, welcome to Mama Mosey Tarot. I've got the Alleyway Tarot here with the Joker on the bottom of the deck. And then, oh god, it doesn't help because we have legislation here, the Oracle of Plain Secrets. This is Oracle of Play, sorry. This is the Oracle of Play. This is telling you that you are holding yourself to standards that you or somebody else have set for you, and you are being called to question them. Especially if you know or are familiar with this. This is your bailiwick, kind of, like it's your thing, and somebody's telling you, nope, you're wrong. Go against that. Push against it a little bit. Fight it. See if you can push those boundaries and stretch them back to where they should be, because something is off. Something is too much control and power here. But we've got shadow work as well, so I think you've definitely been the one holding yourself to these standards and boundaries that aren't really quite you. But then we've got, I don't even know what this card is. That's got to be the devil. Hold on. It is. It's the devil. It's a class of fear, or a card of fear mongering. A card of fear mongering. So I think there is a little bit of fear here. You've told yourself that something is going to happen if you step outside of these boundaries, if you really examine this shadow work here and why you're following these rules in the first place. And you have adversary, the card underneath it, which is a card of childhood rival. So this is something you learned in childhood with this. What is this? It's a little prince. Hold on. Oh, this is straight up. This is the King of Lost Things. This is a representative of a child who is looking around for something that is lost, and they don't quite know what, but they know they're looking, they don't have what they need. So this is definitely inner child work with the card of respite behind it. Oh my god, and memory sift? Holy shit. This is all going back through your childhood, the things you grew up, the foundational things that you know and believe and are comfortable with. They need to be structured. You're not seeing it as something that you, and that's not even the feeling. You're holding on to it and holding on to it to look at life in a certain way. That's what this heart is. It's carrying something with you that you demand is yours. With this wander home here, which is paying attention to daily rituals and noticing the holiness in them, kind of, not necessarily the holiness aspect, but the importance of them, how certain things will start to fall apart, and it's just this big domino effect if you don't take care of and pay attention to the little things. And then we have prospering under that and conjure. So you definitely 100% put yourself in this headspace with the help of somebody else. You trusted somebody, and they thought that you thought that they were guiding you in the right direction because you're a kid. And what else do you think? And then, yeah, this is somebody else enacted with this necessary violence and the Knight's Pity. Somebody else's trauma carried over onto you. But now you are being called to deal with it, reestablish those boundaries in a healthy manner, and get other things out of the way to heal yourself. Because right here on the Alleyway Tarot, we have the Hierophant. This is a bridge between man and the divine. Somebody who's not quite here, not quite there, but in a little bit of both. You need to do that. But this has to be 100% your choice. And then we have the Alley Man underneath it, 100% your choice. And it's going to be a very impactful moment. There's two of obelisks here. An obelisks for me with this card, it's a mix of swords and staves. It's a mix of mentality and action. You have to make a choice, but you have got to pay attention to the things you know and the things that you are being and have been told before about yourself. Your heart is in the right place. All you're doing is trying to protect and defend, but that might not have turned out the best before. In pursuing your dreams with this Ten of Wands here, you willingly took on burdens, but that star remained out of reach, and you ended up performing monologues in the dark for nobody and getting a little bit of not nihilistic, but just kind of, fuck, that sucks. I really wanted that. That kind of, you got to get out of that. Create. Five of Media here underneath that. And then Knight of Pentacles. Create and be patient with it. The Knight is the most steadfast Knight in the deck. And then the High Priestess and the Hierophant together in two decks, or the same deck, the High Priestess and the Hierophant, okay? There is something here with this creation and then this Knight of Pentacles. This Knight of Pentacles takes a while to get where he's going, but once he gets there, he stays because he knows that's where he wants to be. He knows that's where he belongs. And then we have the High Priestess. Where did she go? There she is. We had the High Priestess under that. Now you see how on this one you have the Hierophant, and it kind of looks like a moon-shaped opening, and then this one she has a moon for a head with blanket wrapped around, concealing everything but her face. It's just, I like it. But this is something for you. I don't know if that High Priestess is necessarily a person specifically. It might just be balance. It might just be understanding. If you have two sides of the same coin, it's not necessarily exactly another person. But for some of you, it might be. So, we've got the Alleyway Tarot, and I just saw the Six of Wands, which is victory. So there is victory foretold here with these steps that you take in reestablishing your boundaries and healing yourself through shadow work and examining your old childhood wounds. with the Nine of Games, there is going to be an aspect that you will be able to find an aspect of fun and joy in everything, but it's not always going to be the really easily seen one. You might have to shift your perspective, turn, alter things a little bit to see it, but that's your goal, is you got to find it. You can't get bogged down in the shadow work, or else you're going to create more trauma for yourself in being afraid of possibly causing damage to other people, or seeing other damage to other people and wanting to heal it so much that you suddenly forget to stop working on yourself. Yeah, so this is Four of Wands. This is finding comfort in what you've created with other people, but the Six of Swords is a card about being chosen and cultivating yourself necessarily to be chosen. So I don't know if this is... Hold on, I'm going to pull a few more because I'm getting a few different feelings from those two cards specifically. So let me get a couple more out here and see. Because they seem to be in opposition, right? The Four of Wands, basis, foundation, friendship, strength. But then the Six of Swords, which is no strength, hollow, shallow, strength of will to change, but based on fear. So what... Hello? Can I get some, please? The Seven of Cups, or I think it's Seven of Wishes, I'm not sure. Either way, it's the same thing. This is a card of you have so many options that you don't know what to go with first. But I think, combined with these three cards, you just need to make a choice. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you are choosing to do this work. You are choosing to change yourself, not necessarily so somebody else picks you this time, which is fantastic, because this is usually a card of specifically wanting to be picked and being afraid of not being picked, kind of like that real, it sounds bad, but pick me, like that. They feel like there's something lacking in them if they are not picked, so they change what they think they need to be picked as confirmation that they are good, but they're not. There's always that niggling little thing of doubt that's like, you changed. Are you really good? This is that. This is, you just need to start the work. You just need to assess things. Yeah, because 4, 6, and 7 as well, and then the 9s. Overburdened by issues that you need to address, just pick one. Don't get caught in the decision-making process. Action is what is called for here, not leading with emotion and not necessarily leading with thought either, because you can think yourself out of a lot of shit, and I knew this was going to come up. This Hanged Man card here, this is a card of being a cat in space, taking care of yourself. And I would go so far as to say that it's, because it is a cat in space, it is just taking a few days for yourself and thinking. When you start the shadow work, take a day or two where you just tell your friends, hey, I'm going to be MIA for a little while, a couple days, I'll text you when I'm done, but I got to do some stuff. And do not shy away from what you see. Okay, this Ten of Eyes here is being forced to see things that aren't necessarily the prettiest, but things that need to be seen. These things that need to be seen are only going to be accepted once they are seen. You have to see them. You have to accept them in order to change them. You can't change anything about you if you're like, that's not me. But don't get lost, okay? There might be not good things about you. There might be ugly things to see. There might be ugly memories that you don't want to deal with. But you got to go in the cave, man. You got to get in there. Take a torch with you. Don't get stuck and sit there in the moldering darkness. Do not get stuck in the emotion of what might have happened to you in the past. Do not, do not, do not. It is not there for you to relive. It is there for you to learn from the world. Yeah, it's not there for you to relive. It is there for you to learn from. This is something where you need to be able to see. I don't want to say the adverse, because that's not the word. The alternatives. That's the word I'm thinking of. There are alternatives here. This was a part of your life, but it does not make you. It helped make you, and now you're deciding to make you fully. That darkness that you experience is just a part of life, and you can choose to make, you can choose to sit in your emotions, or you can choose to take action, or you can just choose to get bogged down in work. But these are choices that you need to make here with this Giuseppe card that just flew out, and then the Four of Cups. Oh my God. Four of Cups, King of Wands, and then the Eight of Pentacles here. These are all different options and choices. But what you need to do with this Giuseppe card, don't fight. If you're, hold on. Oh, If your emotions are brought up and you can see that you're starting to get sucked in and sad, counteract it. Don't get angry. Don't, you can't be. Just, okay. All right. You move that way, I'll move this way. You move in opposition, I'll move in opposition. It's all movement. Don't fight it, don't fear it, move with it. Don't let yourself get stuck in the work. Take time for joy and realize that while you chose to do this. You chose, and not in a bad way, when you chose to do it, it shouldn't hurt. You had the strength and vulnerability to tackle this work, to handle this, to change yourself, which is it's the hardest thing to do. Oh, no, it's probably harder to change other people. Ugh. But this does provide your 10 of Cups. If you can make sure that you're not getting lost in the bad things that happen to you, you're not keeping yourself in a victim mentality or state of mind. Oh, this happened to me. Everything should be easy now because I had some hard times. Oh, and you got the Queen of Wands, King of Wands, Queen of Wands. This card specifically, be your own light. You don't need to be aggressive. You can sit and wait, and as soon as the time is there to jump, then you jump. Okay? And then bottom of the deck energy, we have the Empress. Stay in the physical. Don't get too much into your head. I know I'm telling you a lot of shit like, you need to fix this and this and this and examine this and get into this. Yes, but not just that. You still have got to live life. You still have to find joy in life and find everyday things to do that have nothing to do with you. Because you have to, while doing all of this inner work, cannot convince yourself that you are the center of the world. That is a big mistake. Don't be afraid, okay? Do not be afraid. It is okay to not be the center of the world. Then you're not under as much notice. And you can get some fucking work done. Yeah, King of Wands, you got it. You got this action, you have the will. You really need to make sure you're maintaining balance and start living your life for you, defining your life for you. Not living off of the definitions and past treatment of other people if it's not what you want in your life. Okay? I hope this helped. Love you.